on in the background why I basically just go through this, right? Trump wanted to take away naturalized citizenships, and just some Trump in the background. So a naturalized citizen is basically someone from another country who went through the process of becoming a citizen legally, went through the years, basically not from America, but became a citizen. And usually your naturalized citizenship is taken away when it's found that they lied on the application or somewhere on the process of becoming a citizen. But Trump is trying to make it now for certain crimes that you commit, you could also lose your citizenship. So again, when you get it naturally, when it's getting taken from you, because you're basically a citizen, the same way that if you do a crime and you're born in America, you can't just, as of now, and I think never, but who knows what could happen. But as of now, if you're from America and you do a crime, you can't like be taken to another country in jail. You're going to be put in jail in America. And I guess it was kind of the same for a lot of crimes where if you were a naturalized citizen and you did a crime, you would be not deported. And now Trump is trying to make it so you could be deported, right? And if you're not an American that is like mom, dad, all your grandparents, like if you're not an American by generation from here, it is a scary time to be in this country no matter what. Even if you look like you could be an immigrant, it's a scary time to be in this country. Like, and when you talk to people in favor of Trump's immigration, it's just black and white. It's never, you're here illegally. You're breaking the law. Get them out of here. There's no in between. There's no, this is children, business owner, been here for 5 years, people with a 5-6 year, people been here for 5, 6, 7 years who have families. None of that matter. It's just get the fuck out, basically. And it's interesting to me how black and white they make it. And it's clear that Trump's immigration policy, this is something that I've been saying on Guaranteed News consistently, it's not about just criminals. And it's not just about strengthening the border, which is what he ran on, right? We're going to go, I've probably been talking about for another 3 or 4 minutes. I keep forgetting to stop the clock. It's clear at this point, Trump ran on getting the criminals out, getting the violent criminals out of here. He said there's a lot of violent criminals. And the Sleepy Biden administration let in a whole bunch of immigrants. There was an open border. And he says, we're going to stop the border and we're going to get the violent criminals out of here. And now it is people that are 5, 6 years been in the country, people that have families, people that are business owners. And I understand the people that aren't going to work in the school that are here illegally. If I was here illegally, I probably wouldn't leave the house because the ICE is coming and getting people. They're getting people in churches. They're getting people outside of their immigration lawyer court cases to try to do the right thing and become here legally. They're waiting for you outside of that to come and get you. They're coming and they're getting 5-year-olds. They're getting anyone they can get. And it just seems unreasonable to me to believe that this is a black and white, you're breaking the law. I don't care how they do it, who they're getting, how it's done. Everybody has to be, every single illegal immigrant has to be getting out of the country immediately, and we have to get them any way that we can. I don't think it's that black and white. And Trump did this thing for denaturalizing, for making naturalized citizens. He put it in a memo. This is the memo that was put out on June 11th. I read it. It talks about a bunch of things that I've talked about on Guarantee News, combating discrimination. It has a bunch of things in it. And again, this is maybe where I should do a Discord for like the articles and stuff. But if you just Google June 11th Trump DOJ statement, denaturalizing citizens. I know I just said a lot. Google June 11th, Trump denaturalizing citizens PDF. You'll find it. He says a lot of things here, but the fifth thing is prioritizing denaturalization. And then he says here, the civil division has established the following categories of priorities for denaturalization cases. And a lot of these, you could say, okay, these are reasons where if you do any of these crimes, you probably should maybe lose your naturalization, your American, the privilege to be an American. But then the last one is very interesting, and that's why I say with Guarantee News, if you watch all 27 days of this, you'll be used to me saying this. I say it on Guarantee News all the time. I like to read like the documents. I like to read like the actual like, I don't know. I got a journalism degree. Why can't I think of the primary sources where shit actually comes from? So we'll go through these really quickly. So these are the things that they're saying they want to prioritize for getting people out of the country. So you illegally procured your citizenship. So you did something to lie. This is what we talked about earlier that is common, right? War crimes, terrorism or espionage activities, organized crime or gang membership, violent crimes, sexual offenses, fraud schemes, human trafficking. These are all the things that they're putting on high notice that if you do these and you're here as a naturalized citizen, you can lose your citizenship and be sent back to anywhere, wherever we want to send you. right? But the last one is where it gets interesting. And it's always that with Trump when you read these things, it's always something. And it's a catch all and pretty much saying any cases that we feel like are sufficiently important, we can make it so you lose your citizenship. It says any other cases referred to. Can you guys see that? Maybe not. Let me. All right. Let's go to this. This is where any other cases referred to the civil division that the division determines to be sufficiently important to pursue. If you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of Donald Trump's or read any of Trump's Truth Socials, you know. That means anything that he feels important, any story that he wants to use to make as a headline for a week when he doesn't want people to talk about another headline, or he just doesn't give a fuck and he wants to talk about it, he will use it. And there's millions of stories. I could go into this for forever, but I'm going to take my last 3 minutes to just show some examples for the people that are saying, Garrett, this is black and white and this is sad, but how bad can you feel for these people that are breaking the law and why it does seem bad? They're doing things that are crazy. You can't just come in and break the law legally and think that you're going to be treated nicely when you get back. And I understand that, and I feel like that's true. But I just want to, there's millions of videos like this that I'm about to show where it shows the gray, where I think it's questionable to say this. The first thing I'm going to show is a headline. ICE arrested a 6-year-old boy with leukemia at immigration court. His family is suing. You're probably saying, Garrett, this is just a random Instagram thing with like a edit. What are you talking about here? Why, or how can you trust this? Is this even real? Fair enough. I said the same thing when I was just scrolling on Instagram, and I kind of looked into it. Just a simple Google. There's a lot of articles. You can go look into it yourself. The Guardian. We'll read just a little bit of this, not the whole thing. Mother arrested at LA court alongside 6-year-old son with cancer, and she sues ICE. A Honduran woman, can you guys see that? A Honduran woman who sought asylum in the U.S. is suing Trump administration after immigration agents arrested her and her children, including her 6-year-old son, who is diagnosed with leukemia at a Los Angeles immigration court. The woman identified as Missy in the lawsuit, and her 9-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son have been in custody at a Texas detention center for several weeks following their arrest. The government has placed them in expedited removal proceedings. So that's an important sentence. We're not going to read. We're going to stop there. They put them in expedited removal proceedings. So you're saying, Garrett, they're letting them out. They figured out they did a problem. That's not the point, you know. If we were just getting back to a theme, if it was what Trump was saying it was about, and it's getting rid of violent criminals and it's getting rid of people that are breaking the law and strengthening the border, you wouldn't be having people going to immigration court getting arrested with their children. And if you were going to go about it the way, or if you were going to go to immigration court, maybe you wouldn't also arrest children and lock them up as well. And this is something that Trump was doing in his first administration, but I don't think it was done in the same way where they were getting parents outside of immigration courts. So that's one story. 6-year-old with leukemia. Garrett, they probably didn't know he had leukemia. Not the point. Still a child. But shit like that happens when you don't care. You do shit like that where not only do you do a child with leukemia. Another video. This is from New York. Okay? We have 53 seconds left. We're going to show just this video. A 23-year-old electrician from Brentwood is speaking out after a disturbing encounter with federal immigration agents left him handcuffed and shaken despite being a U.S. citizen. Guy's a U.S. citizen. He just looks like he's a Mexican. He's a Mexican. He looks like he could be an immigrant. We're going to go and we're going to stop him. That's what they're doing. Elzon Limus, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I know I am. My bad. Says he was on the job, driving in a work van when his coworker in Westbury, when they were pulled over by U.S. ICE agents, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the incident was recorded on his phone. Let's watch this video. Is there a way to start it over? Here, let's just exit out. Go here, exit out, because I don't know how else to do it.
23-year-old Elzon Limus, an electrician, was in his work van with a coworker when they were pulled over by ICE agents in Westbury.
You look like somebody looking for.
Looking for?
Limus asks why they need his ID.
All right, this is going to go one of two ways here. Okay. I need to see your ID. If you're not the guy I'm looking for, you're not the guy I'm looking for.
Okay,
right? But we need your ID.
Nah.
Okay, if you don't get your ID, then we're gonna, have to figure out another way to ID you, and it may not work out well for you.
Nah. Listen, I'm not rolling up. Keep it down. I keep it down.
I like the door.
The agent forces the door open and demands Limus stops recording. Limus was born and raised in New York and was stunned.
I felt like my rights were just like out the window, and like it's like that. It felt like I didn't have anything, anymore. Like I couldn't do much.
And it's been 10 minutes out in, but I have a lot of friends. I talk to a lot of people that feel in the black and white and they're going to see a video like that, why don't you just give them your ID? Why are you being a dickhead about it? Why are you being difficult? I see that point, but do you also see the point of not asking, hey, I'm looking for this exact person, not communicating with them? You can tell these ICE agents, they love doing this. This is like, they get a kick out of going and doing this to people. Like, they're not doing this for anything. Like, they think, I really don't think they think the country is better. I really don't think that they're helping Americans or doing anything of meaning. I think they really are just assholes that like to do this. So they love to be violent if you're going to be violent and chase you down. There's a video of, give us your name. We're going to mute it. This is like an ICE agent chasing a woman down the street, which is not funny, but it's fried. Chasing a ICE woman down the street, or not an ICE woman, chasing a woman down the street. Obviously, she's here illegally, but they're just going to say, "Who are you? What are you doing? Give me your ID." If you're here illegally, she just takes off running. He goes and catches her, and in the video, you can see she knows she's caught. It's crazy, and it's just kind of like, there's another story that I saw about someone calling the police, thinking someone was getting kidnapped, because it's ICE agents. Look at them, they're all masked up, they have guns and stuff. Like, this is just, when you see the videos, when you read some of the stories of how they're doing shit and the certain shit that they're doing, it's like, bro, it can't be that black and white. It can't be that black and white. I don't know what to say. If you see all this as just, these people are wrong, and however you do it, you got to do it. And I don't know what to say if you think this full court press that he's doing on every single illegal immigrant doesn't make any difference between violent criminals. If you don't see the difference between violent criminals and women selling food, mothers with their children being arrested while they're going to immigration court to be here legally, and someone that is causing crime, someone that's doing terrorism, someone that's doing lied to get in the country, like those other crimes that we were reading about, these violent crimes, then I just would have to say at the moment we respectfully disagree. Come on, Guarantee News. If you disagree with me, I'll have you on, and we can talk about it. It doesn't even have to be a debate, but I respectfully disagree with that. Now, I will say, the people saying I don't care because this community, the Latino community in America voted for Trump, and I have an episode on Guarantee News on my channel. Let me go and find it. It actually got a good amount of views, so maybe you guys like when I talk about immigration. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what works. Let me see. What is going on in LA part 3, black people, immigrants voting. And this, I talked about like the relationship of Latinos voting for this and Latino people and the black community and everything with that. If you were those people that feel like, you know, they voted for him and they're getting what's coming to them, I don't agree with that, but I see where you're coming from, and I think you have more of a it doesn't seem as crazy than the other black and white stance. Like, if you're like, I don't care because they voted for this and I'm not getting in this, doesn't have anything to do with me, I disagree, but I see where you're coming from. And if you were like, Garrett, why do you feel that way? Why are you crazy? Go and watch that video and subscribe to my YouTube at GS Studios. Go and watch this YouTube video. What is going on in LA part 3? That is our second story. We'll be talking about Trump. Like I said, there's 27 days that I'll be streaming. I'll be talking about Trump, probably 27 of them, all of them. There might be like just a couple of days where maybe I'm hungover or something. I just come in here and play poker on like a Saturday morning for an hour. We watch like a video that I think is